Diesel gets it right. Percy wasn't feeling well. His joints ached, and he couldn't breathe properly. The Fat Controller came one morning with an inspector. They examined Percy and made notes in a small book. When they had finished, the Fat Controller looked very serious.
"Oh, dear. Well, it looks like you'll have to go to the works, Percy. Worry not, they'll make you better, but it'll be a while before you're back in working order."
But who will look after my trucks?" wheezed Percy. "Toby can't do everything on his own."
He certainly can't. I suppose we'll have to borrow another engine."
Thomas was waiting at the junction, when suddenly... Oh, it can't be! But much to Thomas's dismay, it was. Diesel came rolling up alongside him.
"Good morning, Thomas."
"Hello," said Thomas, suspiciously. "You've come to help Toby, I suppose. If that's the case, then no tricks, please."
"Tricks? What? Me?" said Diesel slyly.
"I'm only delighted to be of assistance to you really useful engines again." "Good," replied Thomas shortly. "I'll believe it when I see it." And he puffed away. Diesel arranged some trucks and trundled carefully up to Ffarquhar, where he met Toby.
"Oh, it's you. Well, do your shunting, please, and take these trucks to the harbor."
Diesel did so, and went about his work. Later that night, Thomas and Toby made it clear to Diesel that they would stand no nonsense. Diesel listened closely.
"Yes, Thomas," he said smoothly. "I understand, Thomas. Oh, of course, Thomas."
Unfortunately for Diesel, the trucks knew that the Fat Controller had sent him away for being troublesome.
"Let's have some fun,"
they sniggered. Whenever Diesel would try to shunt them, they'd tease him, slip their brakes on, and bump him. Diesel was annoyed, but he kept it to himself. One morning, Diesel rolled into the yard to collect some trucks for the quarry. The trucks played their tricks again.
"Oh, look," they said. "Here's evil Diesel. Such an oily thing. Yes, Thomas. Of course, Thomas. I understand, Thomas."
Diesel tried his best to ignore them, but could soon stand no more.
"That's it. I'll teach you,"
he roared, as he gave the trucks a fierce shove, sending them careening down a siding. The oldest truck, who was also the rudest, was at the front of the line. Too late, he saw what was coming. No one was hurt, but Diesel was cross.
"Any more nonsense, and I'll do this to the rest of you."
The trucks wisely smartened up. While the workmen cleared up the wreckage, the Fat Controller came to see Diesel.
"I brought you here to help out, not to cause more trouble. I will be sending you back as soon as I can arrange it."
After being talked to like that, Diesel was glad to be going home. The next day, Daisy had just left the top station and was making good time. But as she went down the hill, she felt something warm and wet splashing against her wheels. By the time she reached the airfield station, she was feeling hot and her joints were stiff. "Oh, what's happened?"
"You're leaking oil," said her driver. "Now Bertie will have to take your passengers."
Just then, Thomas passed by with Annie and Clarabelle. They were filled with people on their way home from market. As they climbed the hill, his wheels started slipping on Daisy's oil and came to a stop. Then, "Help! Help!" Help! He whistled. Thomas was slipping back down the hill. Near the bottom of the hill are special points used to derail runaway trucks. Thomas could not stop his heavy train from pulling him down the line towards the set of points. Clarabelle's wheels leapt off the line and sank into the mud, but thankfully came to a stop. The guard, who was shaken up, surveyed the accident.
That's torn it, he said. We'll have to call for help now.
Diesel was waiting with his last train before going home. He sniggered slyly when he heard what happened to Thomas. Serves him right. Then Diesel remembered that Thomas was blocking the line, so he couldn't get home. Diesel grumbled to himself as he shunted his trucks into a siding. When he arrived at the hill, he crept slowly down before sitting just a few feet in front of Thomas. The guard had helped the passengers back to the station. Workmen had laid wooden boards to re-rail Clarabelle. They cleaned the tracks and put sand down to help the two engines grip. At last, everything was ready, and with Diesel's help, he managed to pull Thomas and his train back up the line. Luckily, Clarabelle had not been damaged, and they went back for the passengers. The passengers were pleased to see the cavalcade pull smoothly into the platform. "Thank you, Diesel. You were splendid." As the two engines headed back up the line, Diesel began to feel sorry that he was going home. Annie and Clarabelle had asked the Fat Controller if he could give Diesel another chance, and now everyone hopes that he will come back. Even Diesel hopes so too.